I'd love for the Houston Texans to improve that running back room in this upcoming draft. Somebody behind Joe Mixon, a running mate, if you will, at the running back spot to make the Texans a better football team. I've got to imagine with new offensive coordinator Nick Caley, offensive line coach Cole Popovich promoted to head offensive line coach, they're going to want to run the football. We know DeMeco Ryans loves to run the football. And man, if they fix this offense and they're getting big leads and they're trying to unleash hell with that defense, you're going to need to grind some teams out with the rushing attack. And that can't all be on Joe Mixon's shoulders. He's had a lot of carries in his NFL career. You want to preserve him, make sure he is good to go for the entirety of the season. Getting a competent and a worthwhile running back too could do just that. It's not Dameon Pierce for me. I'd like for the Texans to get younger and more explosive and hopefully more versatile than what Dameon Pierce brings to the table. So when I do a mock draft, I like to put a scenario, a challenge, a requirement in there within the mock draft. And for this one, I got to get a running back in the first 3 rounds. The Texans, as we talk about it now, have 4 picks in the first 3 rounds. Surely I'll have a shot at a running back in one of those 4 picks. And maybe I'll have to move around to get what I want. But the goal here, find RB2 in the first 2 days of the NFL draft. And we'll get to the mock draft here in just a moment. At the conclusion of the mock draft, I got another draft for you. The ultimate fast food specialty item draft. I bring in a special guest, my old buddy, BK Brad Kellner, to do a little draft, him versus me. You can vote on the winner when this thing is all said and done. So without further ado, let's fire up the mock draft machine and see if we can improve the running back room for the Houston Texans. This thing gets going here, and we feel very strongly about those first 3 picks. Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter to the Browns, Abdul Carter to the New York Giants. Feel very strongly about those. Had some players slip past where they usually are. Nothing that makes me want to go move up and go make a trade just yet for the Houston Texans. There goes Emeka Egbuka, who would be a fun one for the Texans. And now here comes the tough part. Emeka Egbuka, Kelvin Banks come off the board. The tackle options, non-existent. There are running back options, tight end options, guard options. I know Gray Zabel, it says tackle here on the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator, but Zabel's going to play on the interior at the NFL level. And then 26 teams want to make a trade with me for 25. Well, if I had some extra draft capital, it'd be pretty easy for me to get a running back. The Ravens are interested. So are the Lions, the Commies, the Bills, the Eagles. The Texans and the Eagles do a lot of business together. So let's see if Philadelphia could do something with us. Okay, they've got 32, and we got to give them 25. What can we sneak out of the Eagles here? Can we get 64? That's too much to ask for. Can we get 96 and 134? Yeah, we certainly can, and we can have ourselves a couple of bits of ammunition if we want to move up, and that's going to get accepted. Can I sneak in a 164 and then send one of these late round ones to them? Let's see if the Eagles will take that. They will. We can move down a little bit. Let's see exactly what is available to the Houston Texans when they get there at 32. Okay, so as you look at the players that are available, Omar Norman Lott, who's a really fun defensive tackle prospect out of Tennessee. Omar Norman Lott can get after the quarterback. The Texans don't have a guy quite like him in their defensive line room that can rush the passer well from the interior. Got some safety, some corners. There's a tackle for you. Josh Connerly Jr. from Oregon. And there's some wide receivers, some safeties. Man, having that extra draft capital, though, Tyler Booker, one of my favorites. A lot of teams want to trade with the Texans. You don't want to get too unrealistic and keep on moving down. Just wonder, some of these running backs are going to be available by the next time the Texans are on the clock. I don't love Booker at 25, but I do love Booker stealing him with the 32nd overall pick in the first round. Let's get a guard to help clear the way for that running back that we are going to draft in this mock draft. That is the scenario that we have to go through. You have to get the Houston Texans a running back before round 3 is over. Man, it is setting up perfectly for the Texans. We have not seen many running backs sneak off the board yet. Thought the Denver Broncos might go there. Man, we're going to have a shot at a couple of different running backs here. Oh, Travion Henderson goes right before. I think he's going by Trey Henderson these days, but that gives us plenty of options. And I'm going to make that running back pick, and I'm going to get that player right here, right now. Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State. He was a timeshare guy with Travion Henderson at Ohio State. But prior to that, he was the bell cow at Ole Miss for 2 seasons. I love what Quinshon Judkins brings to the table. They didn't throw him the ball a lot, but that doesn't mean that he can't eventually be a guy that can help you out from that standpoint. I know some teams believe that he's probably only a zone runner, but I believe in the talent of Quinshon Judkins. He's a big-time recruit. He came in. He was big-time 2 years at Ole Miss, wanted to go get a national championship, went to Ohio State, did just that, was a big-time player for the Buckeyes all year long. Big time Quinshon Judkins is the draft pick here. And now the Texans add some more offensive linemen, go get a wide receiver, add to the defensive depth for this team. There's a couple of different ways, but 2 big needs for the Texans, a running back and an offensive lineman already taken care of via this draft. Man, Trey Harris from Ole Miss would have been a fun player to sneak down to us. Jalen Royals, Kyle Williams, Tate Ratledge, all fun players. Jalen Knoll, an intriguing player as well. Jonah Savanaia and Jared Wilson. Already got that running back, so we can go a lot of different ways here with this selection. Man, Andrew Makuba, he is getting reading a lot of buzz that he's a little bit higher on NFL teams' boards than he is the DraftNix boards. Let's take a look at that wide receiver position. Not going to be a ton of options for the Texans if we get sniped between 79 and 89. So it kind of feels like probably should go wide receiver here. Man, I almost said I would never be Royals. It's a lot to like about this guy. 6 foot, 205. Maybe not the best athlete in the world, but goes out there and takes care of business. I'm having a hard time not drafting Kyle Williams, though. Man, Williams, really good at the Senior Bowl. Excellent for Wazoo this past year. Quick releases, play outside for you, have a little bit of inside versatility. Going Kyle Williams here in the 3rd round. Let's see if the Texans are going to have an opportunity to add to that offensive line situation with pick number 89. They absolutely do. Woo! You got a left guard in Tyler Booker. There's your left guard of the future. You got your running back of the future. You got a wide receiver to help you out right now. And even if Kyle Williams' upside is, really good 3rd wide receiver, that's still a good spot to be in. And now you go out there and you get your right guard, Tate Ratledge, who's played a ton of football for the Georgia Bulldogs, played right guard for the Bulldogs for 3 seasons. Let's go with a self-proclaimed dirtbag. That's what Tate Ratledge says. Tate Ratledge. 2 guards, a running back, a wide receiver. D'Amico Ryans is banging on the door. They locked him in the broom closet, so they go draft some offensive players. D'Amico Ryans is trying to get in there now. Anthony Belton would be a nice tackle player for the future. Ashton Gillette, look at what he put together here for Louisville. Okay, 5, 9, 7. Look at this success here. The pass rush grade, the pass rush win rate. You got to have some edge guys of the future. Derek Barnett's only here for 1 more year. Danico Autry's only here for 1 more year. You get D'Amico Ryans a player like this, then he can coach him up, and that guy doesn't have to be awesome right away. He can grow into that role. And right about the time Daniil Hunter would bid farewell to the Houston Texans, this fellow would be ready. Give me the defensive end from Louisville. And the Texans have added their first defensive player in this draft, man. Look at this draft. What a draft we're putting together here to help out the Houston Texans, not only in 2025, but square them away for the next few years. It can't be this easy on draft night for Nick Caserio, DeMeco Ryans and company. Surely it won't be this easy. Definitely could use a little bit more wide receiver talent, maybe a tight end in these final few picks. Got a few picks here, all in a bunch, 134, 164, 166. Maybe could have moved up for a player here or there, but let's see what we can do to improve the situation for the Houston Texans. Now, Isaac Tesla is one of my favorite players. Now, Kyle Williams is an outside guy. Tesla is a big slot guy. Remember when the LA Rams took a big slot guy that had a really impressive combine and had a really impressive offseason leading into the draft? Yeah, his name is Puka Nacua. Ended up being pretty good for them. And, oh, by the way, using Puka Nacua and how you use him and how you use that big slot from time to time, you think Nick Caley, who coached in LA with the Rams, would know a little thing or two about using a guy like Isaac Tesla? Man, that's going to be tough for me to pass up. But I like Billy Bowman Jr. The Texans are kind of set at safety, though. It's a couple of defensive players. Ty Robinson's an inside-outside guy, real nasty guy from Nebraska. So maybe we go with Ty Robinson. Cameron Jackson, a guy that's probably a little underrated coming out of Florida. He's got some juice to him. Not taking a quarterback. Logan Brown's a nice project tackle, but why get a project tackle when I can get a guy that can help with the offense or the defense right away? Tesla is one of my favorite players in the draft. I'm having a hard time not drafting him. So I'm going with Isaac Tesla. We'll get DeMeco Ryans, a couple more of his friends over on defense here as this thing moves on. Boy, sure would have liked Jack Kaiser, the linebacker from Notre Dame, but hey, they're playing so much nickel, maybe they don't want another linebacker here, the Houston Texans do. Pat Bryant would have been an intriguing player, primarily outside, but we wanted that big slot from Isaac Tesla as things move on. Bashaw Tutin would have been an intriguing addition to the running back room because he's got pure, unadulterated speed. Okay, and to be frankly honest with you, if Jackson Hawes had been here at 164, I would have taken him, but he went 163 to those dastardly Carolina Panthers. Ty Robinson, big, nasty, helps you out with the pass rush, helps you out with the run. Pretty decent pass rush win rate. Had a productive season for the Cornhuskers. Going to have a hard time not picking Robinson right there, but let's kind of just peruse, take a look, see if anything jumps off the page at us. I already took two wide receivers, so not getting Deontay Thornton or Andrew Armstrong. Thomas Fidone. We might go, let's go Husker here. Let's go Ty Robinson. We're on the board in two more picks. Let's go down there and get a tight end. A guy at Thomas Fidone Jr. Thomas Fidone the second. Junior and second's the different. But let's get those two Huskers, and then we got a nice long wait for our last pick. DeMeco Ryans gets another defensive lineman, this time more of an interior guy with Robinson. And then Fidone is a tight end that can grow and turn into a complement down the road to Cade Stover. Maybe it doesn't help you a ton in 2025, but has the potential to help you down the road. I wonder if we could sneak a DB in here at 236. We're not making any trades or anything, so let's speed the machine up here, get to that final pick, and then after this mock draft, I'll get to you to the fantasy draft of the ultimate fast food items that are specialty items on those menus. So the Houston Texans with 236. If somebody wants to trade for this, be my guest. That's fine. Zah Frazier from UTSA is a really fun sleeper pick. A lot of analytics people believe he's probably a little bit better than people are giving him credit for at that position. Again, we already drafted two wide receivers, but Elijah Badger is a guy that I feel like is going unnoticed here in the back parts of draft. Gatson, we already drafted a tight end, so we probably wouldn't draft him. But again, another kind of late round guy that had some production in college. Holland Pierce from Rutgers, big player. Okay, When you think about a guy at 6'8", 344, I think about, I don't know, Trent Brown. Guess who's on the Houston Texans? Trent Brown. Holland Pierce is a fun player to just kind of stash and let him learn the ropes there for you at offensive tackle. Reed from Utah is a nice late-round pick. So is Munden from Georgia. I'm seeing a name here that I'm having a hard time passing up, though. I know we already drafted one running back, but this is the go-get a running back scenario. Jaquavius Marks, he goes by Woody Marks. Woody Marks is one of the best and maybe the best pass-catching running back in this draft. He is awesome. He can handle third down duties for you right away. He will throw his body around in pass protection. He catches the ball out of the backfield. Dare Agumbawale is not going to handle those duties forever. Marks could push him from day one. It's get a running back. How about get two running backs? That's what we're shooting for. We ultimately got it. Man, an offensive forward draft really helped out the Houston Texans here. Unlocked some PFF mock draft awards. They didn't like the Kyle Williams pick. They liked Royals more than Williams. But man, look at this haul. A starting guard, an immediate impact running back, an immediate impact wide receiver, a starting guard, a rotational edge player, some potential at big slot for this team. Ty Robinson, who can help you out on a rotation on the interior of the defensive line. Maybe your fourth tight end and an immediate special teams guy, maybe third down running back, and Woody Marks. What an absolute treat of a mock draft that we were able to pull off here. I'm going to save this one so that the folks on social media can partake, and we'll put this over on the community post as well so the folks can weigh in there. What did you think of the mock draft? The goal was to get a running back for the Houston Texans. We ultimately got two. It worked out like a dream. It may not be that easy on draft night, but the Texans improved the offensive line, gave themselves options on some of the offensive skill positions, and added a couple of defensive pieces for DeMeco Ryans to tinker with. What more could you ask for in a mock draft? What more could you ask for in a draft party than hanging out with myself, Landry Locker from the Locker Room? It's S&L and Karbach Brewing. We're going to be at the Karbach Biergarten on day 3 of the NFL Draft, April 26th. We want to see you there. Come hang out with us. We'll talk about the first 2 days. We'll talk about how scarily accurate my mock draft was, because they're totally going to get all those players, right? But hang out with us. They've got the brand new pizza and pints right there next to the beer garden. They got some incredible pizza options. Obviously, Karbach's beers and ciders are fantastic as well. Bring your friends. It's a brewery. It's great to hang out and talk football. They'll have it on the big screen for us out there as well. It's going to be a blast. Don't miss out. S&L Karbach Brewing in the beer garden, April 26th. Get started at 11 a.m. We will see you there. Appreciate you watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Got another draft coming your way here right now. My friend BK, those from the Wheelhouse days, remember it. He also does a ton of work covering the Texas Longhorns. And if you love fast food, you can't miss this trip down memory lane as we talk about fast food specialty items and create the ultimate fast food specialty item draft. And it's coming your way right now. The ultimate fast food specialty item draft with my friend Brad Kellner, BK from Texas Sports Unfiltered, Locked on Longhorns, and of course from back in the day, BK, the Wheelhouse, where we used to work together, met each other, became friends, sometimes enemies. You maybe didn't know that, but I held grudges. I'm kidding. But no, it's of somebody that I was thinking of, what would I talk about if I was going to draft items with somebody? And I had BK as the other person, and fast food is naturally it, because you eat more fast food probably than I do.
Yeah, you and I enjoy talking sports together, but we enjoy talking fast food way more. And, a lot of people claim to be foodies out there, but very few people claim to be fast foodies. And you and I claim, but accurately claim to be fast foodies. This is our bread and butter, and this feels like the Super Bowl to me. I cannot wait to get into this.
Yeah, the fast foodies, you are the ultimate fast foodie, because I think there's probably nothing you haven't tried from fast food restaurants. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back and forth. We're each going to get 4 items. And I know your big board's probably 150, 200 items long. but you're going to have to pare it down. Just 4 items each.
Are there any trades involved here? Future picks, cash considerations, gift cards, perhaps?
French fry to be named later.
I'm going to need that. 4 is not nearly enough today.
Yeah. So 4. And here's what the parameters are. It can't be anything that is a current mainstay menu item. So, for instance, the probably best example of this is the Cheesy Gordita Crunch used to be a limited time item. It is now on Taco Bell's permanent menu. So it's out of there. You can't draft that. That's a permanent menu item. So no permanent menu items. They have to be limited time, or they have to be a discontinued item. So an item that restaurant no longer serves anymore. Okay? And it has to come from a restaurant where most of the locations have a drive-through.
Okay.
So no Chipotle something limited edition, yada, yada. No Five Guys, this or that. Most of the locations have to have a drive-through. So your typical fast food restaurant with a drive-through. And BK, as the guest, I will let you have the first overall pick in the ultimate fast food specialty item draft.
This is tough. I was able to dwindle my list down to 7, and now I'm being told I only have 4. So we're going to have to make some last-minute cuts here. And I think I'm following the rules with all of these picks, but you've got to let me know if I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing.
Well, and if I take one of your items, you're in trouble. You might run out of items here.
That's how it goes. And I'm worried about this first one. I'm worried that I am taking one of your favorites because you and I have talked about this one a lot over the years. This is not my go-to restaurant in this genre, but this is the greatest fast food item ever created in this genre. We're going to the Colonel here. Kentucky Fried Chicken for the Double Down sandwich.
Oh, the first pick, the KFC Double Down.
We're going with the most calories on the first pick here. All right, we are starting big, and how could you not? Look, I'm a huge bread guy. I'm in the middle of the Jewish holiday of Passover right now. I can't eat bread. I am dying, and I think it's kind of anti-Semitic that you made me do this during this holiday, and it's devastating. But as much as I love bread, if you tell me you can replace bread with fried chicken, there is no food that I love more on the face of the earth than fried chicken. So you replace the bread with 2 giant fillets of KFC original recipe fried chicken. And then in the middle, you put bacon in there and cheese, every rabbi's dream. I mean, this is as good as it gets. Plus, you could get mayo or the spicy mayo. So you had the option of the sauce that you wanted to throw in there. Long-winded on this one, but it's deserving. The KFC Double Down, the number 1 pick for me, Cody.
This is like early 2000s when somebody would just draft a big, fat defensive tackle. Just like, it's got a very clear role. You know exactly. There's not a lot of things like this around, and that's exactly what the KFC Double Down is.
Thank you. Hopefully better than Travis Johnson as a first-round pick. Your audience will get that one, I think.
Yeah. Man, what a start. Definitely was on my list. Definitely was on my list. So, wasn't at the top, though. So, for my first selection, the second overall pick here, I'm going to Whataburger. And this is a discontinued item. And I can already see it on your face. You know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
It's my favorite fast food item ever. I was deathly afraid it was going to go number 1 overall. It didn't, in fact. So I get it here at number 2. Whataburger's A1 Thick and Hearty Burger. My goodness, what a dream of an item for a fast food restaurant to put together. The perfect amount of sauce, the grilled onions, the bacon, the cheese. Oh, it was so good. And they've had various other barbecue-esque incarnations since, but nothing has ever quite replicated the perfection that is the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger. And that is my first pick, the number 2 overall pick.
Yeah, that was on my big board as well. I can't show you the big board for proof because I don't want to give anything else away.
Easy, Jerry Jones.
Yeah, exactly. But I've got a different Whataburger item. I'm going to save it for later, though, because I don't think you're going to double up on this. Are we doing snake draft? You said we're going.
No, back and forth. So you've got the 3rd overall pick. You're on the clock here. What do you got for me?
Such a gracious host. All right, this one is not going to win me a ton of fan votes unless you are a part of the movement. And you know if you're a part of the movement. We're going to Taco Bell. I got the retro logo over my right shoulder here. I am a member of a Facebook group that has more than 66,000 followers. Yes. It is called the Beefy Crunch Movement. And the Beefy Crunch Burrito at Taco Bell is going to be my second round pick. This thing has a cult following. There are people who have tattoos of this burrito on them. They sell flags on the website, beefycrunchmovement.com. It's got its own website. It's incredible. Seasoned beef, rice, sour cream, nacho cheese sauce. And you say, well, what makes it so special? That sounds like any other item you can get at the Bell. How about flaming hot Fritos? That's the separator. It should be a full-time item on the Bell's menu. Sometimes they bring it back every 2 or 3 years for like a month. I think they're coming back this year with like an altered version of it, but it needs to be permanent. The Beefy Crunch Burrito, Cody, my number 2 pick.
That is a stellar selection. And honestly, we could probably do this with all Taco Bell items if we really wanted to, from the discontinued to the ones that are limited edition. Man, just when you get that perfect bite and you get that right amount of crunch in it, that's excellent. That is a great call there.
Thank you.
Great job by you.
Thank you.
It's a great job by you. I am also going to go with Taco Bell for my second selection. And this is, man, it's had different kind of incarnations at Taco Bell. And because of the customization nature of the Bell, you can still replicate this to an extent, but it's never quite felt exactly the same. The Taco Bell grilled stuffed burrito.
Oh.
The grilled stuffed burrito, from a size, items inside it type of conglomeration combination, I don't know that there were many things better. And when you got a Taco Bell server that took the time and care to actually really put a grill on that thing, it added a whole new level of texture to the grilled stuffed burrito. So Taco Bell's grilled stuffed burrito, number 2 for me.
Ah, that warm nacho cheese sauce, man.
Yep.
Can't beat it.
That is very good.
Okay, so here's where I have to ask you, because you brought up the drive-through stipulation. Does fast food pizza count?
Ooh, okay. So I am Roger Goodell in this scenario, so I could make it I would tell you that as long as it's one of the big 3, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Domino's.
Ooh. What about Little Caesars?
As long as it's one of the big 4, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Domino's, and Little Caesars.
Okay. Little Caesars, they've got the pizza portal now. Not quite as big of a deal as the transfer portal, but you walk in, you get it, and leave right away. So it might as well be a drive-through.
They do have a good amount with drive-throughs. I've seen a few. We'll make an exception for royalty like Caesar.
Okay. Thank you very much. Pizza. Appreciate it. All right. This
could be incredible. I can't wait for this.
Hands down the best pizza I've ever had from a chain.
Okay.
I go to bed at least 3 times a week thinking about this pizza. And I'm yearning for it. I don't think I've used the word yearn in my life. I yearn for this pizza like Romeo did to Juliet.
Like poets of old about their lovers. BK
like poets of old. Yes, the Raven, Edgar Allan Poe, whatever you call him. The bacon-wrapped deep dish pizza from Little Caesars. My Lord,
man.
And your Lord, anybody's Lord. If they ever bring it back, the first thing you need to do is get your tailbone to the Little Caesars nearest you and get one of these things. It's pepperoni and bacon deep dish pizza. It's got those 8 crispy crust pieces. You always get that corner slice with the LC's deep dish, but it's wrapped in 3.5 feet of bacon. I was told by a friend who worked at Little Caesars, were we actually friends? No, but I went there enough. He knew who I was, so he might as well have been. He said, I hate you because this is the biggest pain in the ass to make ever. And I said, I don't care. Give me my pizza. 3.5 feet of crispy bacon, building a wall around Little Caesars' infamous yet so famous deep dish pizza, topped with crispy pepperoni and bacon bits and their cheese. Cody, it's one of the greatest gifts ever created and one of the quickest ways to get diabetes ever created. It's number 3 for me.
I did not expect that to get drafted, but what an incredible pick. This is like where you look around and a player gets drafted in the first round and you're like, oh, yeah, of course. Why didn't everybody think about this? This could be Justin Jefferson-esque. Where it's like he waited too long. People overthought it. That's very good.
Thank you.
It's very good. I'm going to go a little simple for my next one. And, we've drafted, you're talking about 3.5 feet of bacon. I'm talking about A1 sauce on a burger. I'm going real simple here for my third one. The Colonel used to do it oh so right. KFC's wedges.
Oh.
KFC's wedges. They were a top flight premier side in the fast food game. And now they got these silly wannabe Popeyes fries. The KFC wedges. Man, I loved the KFC wedges. I don't know why they ever did away with them. I'm sure there's some sort of corporate mumbo jumbo that would tell us why they did that. But KFC's wedges, man, that is a legendary item you give me a big thing of wedges and a double down, and I'm having a great week. And I may not make it to the end of the week because it might clog my arteries. But the KFC wedges, nice and simple. Wish they were coming back.
Yeah, it's a great pick. Seasoned to perfection. When you get those crispy, smaller ones at the end of the batch, those were fantastic. And I don't know why they ever did away with them, honestly.
There's got to be, I'm telling you, there's some suit at KFC's headquarters that's like, we could save $400,000 a year if we just switch to regular French fries. And it's like, it's not worth it.
No.
Take the loss.
They would make that $400K up instantly if they just started a chain of commercials. Yeah, saying they're bringing them back. Boom, money back, and then some. Last pick here.
Last pick for you.
I mean, this is impossible. I did tease the people Whataburger, so I feel like I have to follow up on that tease. So I'll do it. I'll do it. Some honorable mentions here that just missed the cut. But I think I had this item when it was on the regular Whataburger menu more than any other item that's on my list.
Oh.
And it's pretty similar to the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger because you do get a little steak sauce on this one. But any OG Texan knows about the greatness that is the Chop House Cheddar Burger.
Oh, the Chop House Cheddar Burger from Whataburger.
2 all-beef patties, cheddar cheese, grilled onions, a few slices of bacon, and the steak sauce on that 5-inch toasted bun. A lot of great all-time favorites, the patty melt, the Monterey melt, the honey barbecue chicken. We could go on for hours talking about the greatness of Whatabeezy. But the Chop House Cheddar Burger was always my all-time favorite. And for some reason, it went away, but it didn't go away on this draft because it's on my team.
Hey, some people are going to say BK only took that because he couldn't get the A1 Thick and Hearty. Some people are going to prefer that, regardless of where you stand.
I got the burger I wanted. It was number 1 on my board the whole time. Don't actually look at my board, though. But it was number 1 on my board. It's the one I wanted all along. I'm doing it right?
That's exactly what the NFL folks do. That's exactly what they do. This one's maybe a little out there, but it is a limited edition, and I'm a sucker for one of the elements to it. This is my final selection. I'm going to get another burger here. And I'm going to the house that Dave Thomas built.
Oh,
Wendy's. And I'm drafting the pretzel bacon pub burger.
Yes. Now I was back and forth on this one. I'm glad it made the team. That's huge.
I know you and I have talked about this specific burger before. I love the pretzel bacon pub burger. They've even had like some different kind of like adjustments or changes that you can make to it over time. I think they had a spicy one at one point. Um, I think the one time they let you get it with chicken, which is kind of an out there move. Doesn't really make it a burger if it's chicken. But I am a sucker for a pretzel bun. And there's two fast food joints that I know of that even risk it with the pretzel, and that's Wendy's with the pretzel bacon pub burger, and Wiener Schnitzel has a hot dog pretzel bun.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's an option for any of your hot dogs that you get at Wiener Schnitzel. And so pretzel bacon pub burger, which man, I it is worthy. Like you think about what Wendy's does, it's worthy of being a full-time Wendy's menu. I certainly understand some of the elements. Maybe you don't want it to always be there. It's worthy of full-time membership status.
Oh my God. The beer cheese, the honey mustard, obviously the burgers and the bacon and the cheese on there.
The fried
And dude,
onions.
the fried onions. And such a good pick by you. Such a good pick. I feel like Lee Corso on the set of College Game Day. That's a good pick right there. I need to drool a little bit more, I think, to hit that metaphor. But there was nothing better. The burger was amazing. But what separated that burger from any other fast food item was Gus Johnson on the call of a big noon kickoff game with Joel Klatt. And he'd be talking about the game itself, and he'd say, today's telecast of Michigan-Ohio State is brought to you by Wendy's. Head over to Wendy's for the all-new pretzel bacon pub cheeseburger. And it's like, I don't even care about this game anymore. I got to get my ass to a Wendy's right now. Like that, the marketing, getting Gus Johnson to say that, I think increased sales for that burger so much. And I mean, it's delicious. That's a great way to end your draft. That's incredible.
About 25% of the reason I drafted that burger was the hopes that you would do the Gus Johnson.
I've been thinking about that since you texted me about us doing this draft. It's like, do I need to put this on my list somewhere just so I could say that? And thankfully, you did it for me.
Oh man, what were some of the things that just missed?
Man, the McDonald's snack wraps just missed. I think you and I have talked about that. Like probably the healthiest item on either of our lists, but just you get a nice like chicken tender or two, load it up with some lettuce, tomatoes. You got some ranch or honey mustard as your sauce. That was a classic. And then I've got the Doritos Loco, the Cool Ranch Doritos Locos taco was very high on the list. That was a tough one to omit. Like, look, the nacho cheese one's still there. It's great. It's fantastic. I get it a lot, but the Cool Ranch is better. Like, I like the Cool Ranch Dorito more than the nacho cheese, and I like the Cool Ranch taco more than the nacho cheese taco. But man, I had the KFC wedges on mine as well. The double decker taco from Taco Bell was also on my list too.
Yep.
What about you?
So double decker was on mine for sure. The OG, and I'm not talking about the beefy Fritos burrito. I'm talking about the OG Frito burrito when they just called it a Frito burrito. That was on my list. Taco Bell's caramel apple empanada, which is it's back. It's a limited time item. For a long time, it was a discontinued item, but that was on my list as well. And then I actually wrote down Mexican pizza, and then I realized that was like a temporary thing it was gone. It's back. The Mexican pizza is like back. So I would have been grilled mercilessly if I drafted something that broke my own rules that I set.
Right. But it's so good that, I would have let it fly. Who cares?
Exactly. So good list, good items out there. I want the folks to get in the comment section, let us know what we missed. I'm sure somebody's got some old McDonald's thing. Like McDonald's would just try some stuff back in the day. Now feels like they're less likely to just try something.
Everybody is, man. Everyone's trimming down their menus now, and it's disappointing, right? Less items and higher prices is a rough combination.
Yeah. And then one more thing that I forgot, the potato wedges, the potato cakes from Arby's, but I think they made them a permanent thing. So I left them off too.
But you're always more of a Hope Solo fan than I was.
There's
Come on, I mean, you knew something was coming before the end of this.
Yeah, anytime large amounts of sliced meat were brought up, there was always you knew that was coming. That's like, I mean, you knew what Billy Wagner was going to throw. He's going to throw you a fastball as hard as he can, and you know what BK is going to throw you.
Thank you for the comparison. That's a Hall of Fame level comp right there. I appreciate that.
I know I brought you on to talk about food, but I have one Texas football question from a draft pick headed to the NFL situation that I can't figure out. Like, I kind of get it with all the other Texas players. BK, I can't figure out why Kelvin Banks Jr. is not just like a guaranteed top 15 pick. I don't understand it. I don't get it. The guy showed up at Texas, started for 3 years, took care of his business, and now teams are worried about a half-inch of length on his arms. Like,
yeah, well, a half-inch matters. I'm trying to get my second one of those, but yeah, I don't get it either. Like, I know you've talked about it. I know you and Landry have talked about it. I mean, if Banks is there at 25, Nick Caserio better run to the stage to hand that card in to Roger Goodell, because that'd be the steal of the draft right there. But look, here's a reference for the Texans fans out there. Go back and watch Texas-Alabama 2022. Not the game that Texas won in Tuscaloosa, the game that Texas lost. Quinn Ewers got hurt early on. It was a great game, but Alabama won it in the final seconds. That was Kelvin Banks' freshman year. That was his second career collegiate game. He was going up against Will Anderson Jr. in that game, and Anderson did next to nothing. The only thing he did, he jumped off sides like 4 times because he couldn't beat Kelvin Banks without trying to cheat. And we all know how good Anderson was at college. We all know how good he's been in the league. Mm-hmm. That was Banks as a true freshman in his second game. And it's not like that's all he did. I mean, he just dominated all 3 years of college football. So I don't get it, man. Like, I'd be surprised if he falls out of the top 15. I think he should be, if Chicago goes O-line at 10, I doubt they do because they've spent a bunch of offseason capital on offensive linemen. But the Niners maybe at 11. Remember, Kyle Shanahan went to Texas, so maybe he wants to go with the Longhorn in that spot. But, yeah, I don't get it, man. I think he's the surest thing at left tackle in this draft. I think the floor is really high, but I also think his ceiling is like all pro, too. Great kid, plays the game the right way. Yeah, I don't get it. He'd be a steal if he falls that far.
And he does barbecue reviews on his social media. Like, what's not to like about the guy?
Like that, you want your offensive lineman doing barbecue reviews, right? Like that's Mel Kiper needs to be, or Daniel Jeremiah or Lance Zierlein, whoever you go to, they need to mention that in their draft coverage leading up to next Thursday.
Yeah, like what's he eat and can he talk eloquently about it? Yeah.
That's huge. That matters for your, quarterback, running back, maybe not. You don't want a bunch of Eddie Lacy's on your team, but offensive and defensive linemen, you want those guys knowing about food, and Kelvin Banks does that.
You want eaters.
Eaters.
Well, we're eaters, and that's what made us qualified for the ultimate fast food specialty item draft. BK, tell the folks where they can find all of your fantastic stuff, because I think at this point you're doing, 42 different things, but let the folks know.
Appreciate that, my man. Yep, check out Texas Sports Unfiltered. That's the radio-style show I do every morning from 7 to 9. It's on YouTube. We have our own app as well, and, of course, podcasted too. And then Locked On Longhorns. Feel like y'all have heard of the Locked On Network before. Just took over running their Texas Longhorns channel a couple of months ago. So search that on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. But most importantly, like this video and subscribe and keep supporting what Stoots has going on over here, because he's crushing it.
You're the best, man. I can't wait to get to Austin, and we'll probably just go eat fast food. I'd love to say go eat all the great restaurants. We'll just go eat some fast food while I'm in Austin. So I can't wait to get down there, hang out with you. Appreciate you.
Those are the great restaurants. Thanks, big dog.